The video that we are going to watch in a few seconds displays the incident that took place on October the 13th, where someone called the police on a black man by the name of Mr. Jim Rogers riding a bike that was left on the side of the curb. Now, the owner of the bike said that even though she intended to sell the bike, she would have given it to Mr. Rogers. So as you can pretty much tell by her leaving it on the side of the road and then saying she would have given it to him, the bike was a non-factor, meaning not important to her. Now, after a ride on the bike, Mr. Rogers goes and takes the bike back to where he got it from and sits down to have a cigarette when Officer Keith Edmonds pulls up and begins to push him to the point of rolling him in the street like a disposable tire, while at the same time tasing him 10 times. Let's watch the video.
Can you take me to the hospital? It'll be right now, bro. Give me your other arm. Give me your other arm. Give me your other arm.
Get the fuck down! This is unnecessary.
Code 4.
As you can see from the video, Officer Edmonds, who gets the Racist Celebrity of the Day award today, goes straight into kill mode. And before anyone thinks about pulling out the self-defense card, the onlookers, meaning the witnesses who were there, said that Mr. Rogers wasn't acting violently at all, and they didn't even understand why he was being treated this way. Mr. Rogers, who was 54 years old at this time, went into cardiac arrest soon after the incident, soon after the attack, and died the next day in the hospital. Now, the local coroner ruled the death accidental. Tell me who's shocked that the local buddy system coroner who works with the officers ruled this was an accident? Not me. But the internal police investigation took issue with that and noted that there were procedural errors that the cops did not follow, meaning there were procedural errors. Now, the highest ranking officer on duty that day decided to retire in December, basically making a statement that acknowledged the errors and then said that maybe, not, you heard me, maybe the officer was going to be fired. But that did not mean that any charges would be brought upon him. All of this again over a bike. Many states have stand your ground laws that state that you can use force to protect your property. For example, in Pittsburgh, where this occurred, in their state, for their stand your ground law, it says that force can be used if the person believes it is immediately necessary to do so to protect himself against death or serious bodily harm or some other felony, which none are present here. As you see, the words like necessary, immediate, serious bodily injury define the circumstances on when citizens can use the force, and none of these things are present. Now, I use that as an example to say it wasn't necessary, and Officer Edmonds was not in immediate danger of serious bodily harm. Why are officers with a supposed expert training and experience not being held to the same standard as an everyday citizen? No plausible reason outside of them just protecting their own. Had this been a black citizen on the street who tased a white man 10 times for taking his bike, and that resulted in that white man's death, he would be locked up in a cell right now, mentally preparing to spend the rest of his life in somebody's prison. But of course, the criminal justice system isn't designed to cover us all the same. The point is, officers should only use the force reasonably necessary in the situation to protect themselves or others. Excessive force to the point of causing someone's death is not justifiable under many of these situations with many of these racist officers dealing with black people. Their mind, I'm not saying all officers, but a lot of these officers' minds click into a racist, hateful mode that is different from the mode they are in with white people when they go in to handle them with care. And because they are in kill and not care mode, our people end up dead. Stay woke.